Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
2 days after 3 San Antonio police officers were arrested and charged with murder, Mayor Ron Nirenberg is not mincing words in his first public response to the shooting.
Friday morning, officers responded to a mental health crisis in the parking lot of an apartment complex on the city's southwest side. Police say 46-year-old Melissa Perez was cutting wires in the complex's fire alarm system. Body cam footage shows the officers approaching her in the parking lot, then eventually climbing onto her balcony. That's when video shows Perez swinging a hammer at officers, who then fired multiple shots at her.
I will tell you that the body cam footage was very disturbing. It disturbed the police chief enough that he has already fired those police officers or placed them on leave. And so, again, off the streets. But with regard to the investigation, I'll tell you that it is very disturbing. Murder charges have already been filed. So those police officers, while they still are obviously given due process, they're no longer on the job in terms of patrolling the streets of San Antonio.
All 3 officers charged with murder have since bonded out of jail, and Perez's daughter has already hired a lawyer.
Nearly 1 year ago, 53 migrants died after being locked in an 18-wheeler on the south side. Today, dozens of people gathered at the memorial site to honor those who lost their lives.
The night team's Avery Everett spoke to volunteers who say they have a message for San Antonio.
Pedro Telles Gonzalez.
With every name comes a promise.
They need to be remembered.
Nearly 1 year ago, 53 migrants died after being trapped in the back of a tractor trailer on Quintana Road. Today, dozens of community members came to that same site to honor those lives lost.
They were mothers, brothers, fathers, sons.
Carissa Martinez is helping make a new mural at the memorial.
We wanted to bring a little bit of color and life to everybody.
Painting with a purpose.
This memorial right there will always be a place that's like a family can come and just sit and be with their loved ones, regardless of what happened.
Volunteers say they want San Antonio to not just remember the 53 names, but the 53 people, all who had hopes and dreams.
In remembrance of the 50 lives.
The reading of a rosary and coveting items left behind. Advocate Sandra Grace Martinez says she has a duty to remember.
To remember why they came, remember why they died the way they died. A duty to remember how it affected the family, their family, our community.
With the reading of 53 names,
Marcia Tejo.
Volunteers say these faces will never be forgotten.
Jesus Álvarez Ortega. Presente. Juan Valeriano Domitilo. Presente.
Tuesday, June 27th marks the official 1-year anniversary of this tragedy. Volunteers are working tirelessly to tend to the memorial right now on Quintana Road. City Councilwoman Adriana Rocha Garcia says she's working on a more permanent memorial. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Avery. San Antonio police need your help tracking down 2 women they say robbed a gas station. Take a look at your screen. Investigators say this pair took items from the Chevron on Bitters Road back on June 3rd. Police say someone confronted them when they tried to leave without paying, and the women assaulted them and took off. The 2 were in this white Chevrolet truck. If you have any information that you can help police find these women, call Crime Stoppers immediately at 210-224-STOP.
And San Antonio police are looking for a car involved in an unsolved hit and run that happened last month. On Sunday, May 28th, a man was riding his bike on East Commerce Street when he was hit by this red GMC Terrain. The driver left the scene and did not stop to check on the victim. Police say the driver is a Hispanic man with short hair. If you know anything about this incident, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers immediately.
Bexar County deputies need your help finding 3 armed robbery suspects. Take a look at your screen for this one. Deputies say these men watched a man buy an expensive watch at a store in La Cantera and then followed him home to rob him at gunpoint. Investigators were able to piece together footage from around the area the day of this incident. If you recognize any of the suspects on your screen or know anything about the crime, call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
Whoever has information on my son, find it in their heart to come out and speak out and help us close this case.
4 years without their son, 4 years without justice. 18-year-old George Ramos was killed in cold blood inside his car in 2019. Today, his mother released balloons in honor of her son to keep George's story alive as well as her fight.
He was very affectionate towards us, both of us. We have so many videos where he would kiss my husband or he would kiss me and we're like, get away, get away. And now we're like, we miss that. We don't have that anymore.
It's been 4 years since 18-year-old George Ramos has kissed or hugged his mom, Jessica. On June 20th, 2019, he was shot and killed while inside his white Ford Expedition at a gas station on the 10,100 block of Claver Road. Today, Jessica is asking people to remember.
I am just asking, if you were there, you did see who did this to my son. We just need that little piece of the puzzle to close this case. I don't know where the detectives are. I don't know where this case lands.
And Father God, we know that his memories are always with us, Lord, his laughter, his cheerfulness.
Today, loved ones gathered at San Fernando Cemetery for George, having a balloon release in his honor, while holding on to hope that one day the killer or killers will be caught.
Justice for George!
Those in attendance remembered the good times, but were reminded of the potential in life that was cut short.
Our focus was getting him to be a pro boxer. He made it to pro, and he was 2-0. Family was important to him. He loved family. He wanted 5 kids. We discussed how many kids he was going to have too.
And although George's fight is over, his family's is not, as they look for closure and to heal.
Maybe if I know that they're struggling with their own demons, it'll help me understand. I ask God to help me forgive, but I can't find it in my heart to forgive just yet.
San Antonio police are still asking for the public's help in identifying the shooter. Tips can be made by calling Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP or by texting TIP to 274-637. You can remain anonymous and you may be eligible for a reward.
3 teens in 3 exceptionally tough situations have risen above. The students separately ended up at Haven for Hope alone this past year without family members to accompany them. It would have been easy for them to drop out of school, but they accepted resources at the shelter, graduated in May, and have bright futures ahead of them.
These 3 teenagers are more than high school graduates. They're survivors, they're achievers, and they're on their way to make the world a better place.
We just had difficult times with family. Just want to have my permanent place instead of being house to house.
In February, 18-year-old Jeremy Deanda left family behind and moved to Haven for Hope on his own.
It was hard at first, but you tend to get used to it, and somehow you gotta find a way to make it easy.
That was the same mindset for Annabelle Rodriguez and Laura Lisa Solis, who also came to Haven for Hope alone.
It was kind of scary. Yeah, but then I got used to it. I usually wake up middle of the night not able to sleep.
Despite the fear, they all pushed forward, utilizing the shelter's resources and making it to school every single day.
I would wake up at 5 in the morning, probably got on the bus and left like around 6:30, and then I would get to school by 7:45.
When they did graduate from their respective high schools, their Haven for Hope support system lifted them up.
They were just like congratulating me. And my friend, she got me this bracelet. It has a cross on it. They gave me some cards too.
The staff didn't let them miss milestones, including Deanda's dream of going to prom.
No matter how much I was going through, I still wanted to go,
And was it so fun?
It was so fun.
After graduation, staff members got each teen a gift of their choice. The girls wanted manicures.
I've always wanted to get my nails done, but never in my family, we could never afford anything.
And Deanda wanted a pair of Vans.
I'm not picky, but it's like one of the best gifts I got.
They all want other teens in crisis to know their hardship can be temporary.
And there's no such thing as impossible. You got to put your mind to it.
They'll all miss the comfort high school brought them, but they're ready for college.
I wanted to be medical. I want to help people with traumas because I've been through that myself.
I want to help others, so I want to study social working.
All fields of work that benefit others. A true circle of giving.
Congratulations to all 3 of them, amazing teens. Haven for Hope is also in the process of creating a young adult dorm on campus for situations just like this. They'll have a separate sleeping area for young adults 18 to 24 years old, as well as common areas for them to do homework, hang out, and access the resources they need. They hope to have it set up by the end of summer.
And speaking of summer, definitely feeling like it out there, not just tonight, but of course over the past several days. So look outside with live cam right now. Pretty quiet here in San Antonio, but you see that temperature there? 91 degrees still. So yes, it is still warm. It is still muggy. We actually got up to 102 degrees earlier this afternoon here in town. That's just 1 degree shy of the existing record high for the day of 103 that was set back in 2012. So we were very close. But as you take a look off to the west, you can see Del Rio climbing up to 110. That is yet again another record high for them today. They also set another record high yesterday. Now we're still going to be on record watch at times all the way through the upcoming work week because high pressure is settling over the Lone Star State in the coming days, and daily opportunities to climb into the triple digits are currently in the forecast. Again, all starting with your Monday, forecast high of about 103 degrees with more sunshine. So we'll talk about all of that plus a little bit of a change when it comes to the humidity coming up in just a few.
Straight ahead on the Nightbeat, beating the heat. The extreme temperatures are forcing nearly everyone to adjust the way they work. What a local lawn care company is doing to get the job done under these intense conditions. And the best brands. Summer just started, but staying cool has been at the top of everyone's list for weeks. What AC units are passing the test? Next.
Plus, calling it off. A rebellion in Russia is no more. What the events in Eastern Europe mean for the surrounding countries and the U.S.
As the chaos in Russia continues and the war in Ukraine rages on, President Biden speaking with the leaders of Germany, France, and Canada, shoring up the allies' unwavering support for Ukraine. ABC's Jacqueline Lee tells us what the called-off coup means for the rest of the world.
36 hours of turmoil in Russia has some questioning the strength of President Vladimir Putin's regime.
16 months ago, Putin was on the doorstep of Kyiv in Ukraine, looking to take the city in a matter of days, erase the country from the map. Now he's had to defend Moscow.
Yevgeny Prigozhin, a former Putin ally and the leader of the Wagner mercenary group, which recently has been a key asset for Russia on the front lines in parts of Ukraine, announcing a mutiny against Russian military leaders Friday. At 10:15 p.m., Prigozhin saying that his troops have started a march of justice, crossing the border into Russia. Saturday at 7:30 a.m., Prigozhin says they've taken the headquarters of the Southern Military District in Rostov-on-Don, controlling military facilities and a military airfield. Around 3:30 p.m., a column of Wagner fighters was seen near Lipetsk, about 220 miles south of Moscow. But suddenly, at 8:29 p.m., Prigozhin announces he's turning back 120 miles from the capital. Exiled former oligarch Mikhail Khodorkovsky telling ABC's Patrick Reevell this attempted mutiny exposed extraordinary weakness, demonstrating that Putin's regime is weak. Meanwhile, the war in Ukraine continues. On the southern front around Zaporizhia, Special Forces soldiers are trying to push Putin's men back. This officer says the more we hear that Russians have conflicts, the more it raises our fighting spirit. In his nightly address, President Zelensky says he has spoken with President Biden and others, sharing intelligence that suggests Russia has drawn up plans to potentially blow up Ukraine's Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Zelensky saying we must take very specific steps all together in the world to prevent any radiation accidents. Meanwhile, President Biden, in a call with Zelensky, assured him the crisis in Russia will not affect unwavering support for Ukraine from the U.S. and its allies. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, New York.
A teenage girl is dead and 3 other young people were taken to the hospital after an early morning shooting in Houston. It happened just after 1 this morning outside a business on the southwest side of the city. Police say an altercation between 2 groups of people led up to the shooting. The 3 other victims included another teenage girl and 2 men believed to be in their late teens. Investigators say shell casings at the scene indicate there were 2 shooters involved in the incident.
Well, this is something you don't see every day. Texas border agents found a stash of cocaine worth more than $1 million inside an ice cream maker. Customs and Border Protection officials reportedly found nearly 150 pounds of cocaine at a cargo facility in El Paso. The drugs were found through X-ray scanning and a dog search at the facility. The suspect in the case has been charged in the incident. Customs and Border officials say they've seized more than 30,000 pounds of cocaine so far just this year.
And several people in Houston were taken to the hospital after a chlorine poisoning scare in the city's west side. Houston firefighters say several people, including some children, were having a reaction to the pool's water yesterday afternoon.
In total, 12 people were taken to the hospital after that scare. Fire officials say the people who were reacting to the water may have accidentally ingested chlorine after the pool was over-chlorinated.
Definitely a scary scene there, but with the temperatures that we have right now, a pool sounds absolutely amazing as long as chlorine levels are where they need to be.
Yep,
You gotta find water.
I'm sure people were flocking to bodies of water across South Central Texas this weekend, and really even last week. It's been a great couple of days for some pool time, just as long as you're remembering the sunscreen and of course staying hydrated. And that's going to be the theme over the next several days, because here's the thing, that heat, it's not going anywhere. Let's take a look at those weather headlines, what we're tracking as we head into the upcoming work week here across South Central Texas. The biggest thing in terms of the upper levels of the atmosphere, we're going to see high pressure move right over the state of Texas. With high pressure systems, we see sinking air, and as that air sinks to the ground, it compresses and those temperatures crank up even more so. So daily opportunities to see those daytime highs climb into the triple digits continue tomorrow and all the way through the upcoming week as well. But here's the good news. A little silver lining here, slightly lower afternoon humidity is in store, a little bit of a break in some of that mugginess, which should help out in terms of those heat index values. And we definitely could use it. These yellow numbers, the heat index values right now, you can see it's still feeling like the triple digits here in portions of Bexar County, same up in Canyon Lake, Bulverde. The actual air temperatures settling into the upper 80s and still low 90s in and around the San Antonio area. So yes, it is still very warm. It is still muggy out there, but here's that big blue H high pressure system off to our west right now. Watch what happens as we advance this in time over the next few days. By Wednesday, that is really settling over the state of Texas and what's going to control our weather pattern even more so with those triple digit opportunities in the forecast. And we will have to be on record watch for a few days, especially by Tuesday. We've got a forecast high right now of 104 degrees here in town. If that verifies, that would be 1 degree shy of the existing record of 105 set back in 1980. Check out Wednesday, pretty close to the record of 103. So yes, that heat is going to continue, but we're talking about that slight break in some of those dew points right now. Those dew points, how we measure the moisture in the atmosphere here, very elevated, still in the 70s for most of us, which is why those heat index values are still pretty high late this Sunday night. But check this out on our dew point trend. Over the next several days, especially into the afternoon hours, we could see slightly drier air mixed down to the surface, which would help keep those heat index values closer to the actual air temperature. It is still going to be plenty hot out there, but a little bit of glass half full optimism for you. So we'll start off here with your Monday morning, mid to upper 70s in store, a few clouds possible, but then more sunshine in store, especially as we head into the lunchtime and then afternoon hours. We've got a forecast high pointed around 103 here in town, 102 in Poteet, and 105 out there in Devine. You can see not any rain chances on the forecast, unfortunately, here over the next 7 days. Just a whole lot of sun and a whole lot of heat. So continue to just be careful out there, find ways to stay cool, and of course, we'll keep you posted, guys.
Oof, not getting better for a while. All right, thank you, Mia.
Very little clouds on that graphic.
Yeah, just a couple. We'll be right back.
Victor Wembanyama is here in San Antonio, and Spurs fans cannot get enough of the 19-year-old from France. He's a fantastic basketball player, and even more importantly, he's a very nice young man. For a preview of what's on Instant Replay tonight, here's Larry Ramirez. We've had a busy schedule the last couple days.
But it's been a fun schedule, and
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, his parents certainly raised him very well. Now, the dust is settling a bit for Victor Wembanyama and his family. He landed in the States 1 week ago tomorrow, and since then, it's pretty much been nonstop for the young man. Coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
With the first pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
Talk about a great moment for Victor Wembanyama and his family. The Spurs didn't publicly tip their hand, but at the same time, it was the worst kept secret in the world. What did Wemby have to say about those final moments leading up to his name being called?
You were at the draft yesterday. What did you have a chance to say to Victor?
Yeah, just little bits there. You know, I couldn't talk too much until the draft. But I think it's just, telling them, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Jeremy Sohan is pumped up for Wemby Mania. The second-year Spur went to the 2023 NBA Draft as a player correspondent, and then he was at the airport Friday when Wemby came to town. What does Jeremy have to say about the frenzy that greeted Wemby after seeing it firsthand?
I feel like I'm just, it's still a hard camp. I feel like I got my rhythm back ever since the last fight. I feel like I had a little bit of ring rust because I hadn't fought in a year. So I would say I just feel more comfortable and I'm getting my rhythm back now.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out for Joshua Franco in his rematch with Kazuto Ioka. It's been a rough few days for the San Antonio boxer, and under the surface, he's been dealing with some stuff for a very long time, which prompted a surprising announcement after his bout. Okay, which breakfast taco do you recommend for Wemby? That's our instant replay poll question tonight. For some reason, I think option D will win it. Wemby and much more tonight on Instant Replay. If you want to know the options, you got to go vote.
I heard him talk about what he would put on a breakfast taco, not knowing the breakfast taco expertise yet. Very questionable, but
exactly.
He's now in SA, and we can
He'll learn
a little bit, tell him what's the go-to and what's not the go-to.
There you go.
Good stuff. Awesome time to be in San Antonio.
It is.
That, Larry. All right, still ahead on the Nightbeat. Keeping cool. This major heat has many of us running the AC on high. How to know if your unit is up to standard.
Plus, looking for answers. It was a week ago today that tourist sub bound for the Titanic wreckage disappeared. What rescue teams are doing to figure out how the tragedy happened in the first place. Well, it is barely summer, but it's already been quite the scorcher. So you want to make sure your AC is running efficiently.
Definitely, whether it's a window unit or a central HVAC system. If it's time for a new one, 12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz shows us which ones pass the cool test.
The heat is on, and hopefully so is the AC. To test window air conditioners, Consumer Reports cranked the air temp in this chamber to 90 degrees. They wanted to know how fast each AC could cool the space by 10 degrees.
Most air conditioners will cool your space, but the best will do it quickly and quietly.
When it comes to window units, size matters. An AC that's too small just won't cool enough. And if it's too big, it could leave your room cool, but too humid. So here's what they found. This LG got top scores for cooling rooms less than 250 square feet in less than 15 minutes. For medium-sized rooms, they recommend this Medea. For larger rooms, this Frigidaire. Now, what about central AC?
We have survey data from thousands of our members where we look at how reliable certain brands are and how satisfied our members are with those brands.
Several stood out, including Armstrong, Duquesne, American Standard, Bryant, Carrier, Lennox, and Trane.
But even the best AC can struggle when it is stinking hot outside. So there are some things you can do to help your AC and your wallet.
Use the weather stripping and the foam panels that are supplied with that unit.
Filters have got to be clean. Once a month, remove the filter and vacuum and wash it. When your central AC filter needs to be replaced, this Filtrete fits most systems. If you have pets, check your filters often. Pull the blinds to keep heat out during the day, and be sure the sun isn't shining directly onto your thermostat. And don't forget the ceiling fan. You can raise your AC by a couple of degrees and still feel just as cool. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
In more consumer news, SpaceX is aiming to bring up its valuation up to $150 billion. Owner Elon Musk is reportedly trying to reach that goal by letting employees sell stock. Insiders say shares will sell for $81 apiece. Back in December, SpaceX launched another sale that valued the shares at $77 each, giving the company a value of roughly $140 million. SpaceX doesn't publicly report financial results and has not publicly commented on the stock sales. However, it does give employees and former staffers the chance to sell stock as part of their compensation packages.
Well, if you're flying soon, you could face a delay. That's because airlines must update their equipment by July 1st. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg said today that passengers could face delays ahead of the deadline for those updates. The plan in place is to avoid interference from 5G wireless signals. Planes that haven't gone through the necessary changes won't be cleared to land in certain weather conditions when the visibility is low. This starts again July 1st. That's the day several U.S. wireless companies plan to boost their 5G service to higher power levels. Gun violence strikes again over the weekend with the latest mass shooting happening in Kansas City, Missouri. 2 men and a woman were killed in the incident. All 3 found dead in the street after shots rang out at a large gathering around 4:30 this morning. More people were hit by gunfire and taken to the hospital with what police are calling non-life-threatening injuries. Right now, there's no information on any suspects, but detectives and crime scene investigators were seen processing the scene for evidence in hopes of gathering more information from witnesses.
Obviously, there had to have been some kind of conflict that got us here. We just ask everyone, like, when it comes to a conflict, put down the guns, take a breath, walk away.
Police say there were more than enough witnesses at the scene of the shooting to provide them with suspect details.
2 more people are dead and 15 others injured in a different shooting in Saginaw, Michigan. State police say it happened at a large street party that was promoted on social media. Days leading up to the violence, police received several calls around midnight about people that were shooting guns into the crowd. The early investigation indicates the violence stemmed from fighting inside the crowd. In response, others in attendance started randomly firing shots as well. Officials say several people were also injured while running away from the scene by getting hit by cars. Right now, no arrests have been made, but police have recovered at least 5 guns involved in the shooting.
The Canadian Transportation Safety Board opening up its own investigation into the Titan submersible tragedy. The board has already spoken with several people who were on board the Polar Prince, the boat that took the submersible out to sea last weekend. This comes days after 5 people on board the missing submersible were pronounced dead after officials confirmed that the small craft exploded on its way to the Titanic's wreckage. Several maritime agencies are still combing the North Atlantic for details and debris. Well, we all agree it's hot, stifling even, but imagine having to work outside in the heat like lawn care workers.
The Night Team's Avery Everett spent some time with 2 companies changing their schedules to stay safe in the extreme temperatures.
So this is one of our bigger lawns.
The 9 to 5 is no more for Macario Brothers Lawn Care.
We started coming in earlier.
With the temperatures heating up, Douglas Macario says his team is trying to keep cool while keeping the business open.
Can't let it stop us. Yeah, it's like way hotter now, like in June, versus last year. I think it was like towards end of July.
He says the summer is straining, and it's businesses like his that have to beat the heat. But he says it's hard, oftentimes cutting hours and sending his workers home. Right down the street, Bonita Landscaping sees a similar scene.
Heat has gone up, and this is only the start of it. Our schedule does change a lot. We go out early, we come in earlier.
She says water breaks are irregular.
We just go and we get what we need.
And so is stopping a job early if staff doesn't feel safe.
We would never take that away.
The summer only just started.
Right now, maybe freak out a little bit, but I've gone past 7 other summers, so I mean, we'll get through this one too.
But as changes come from the Macario brothers, he says business is coming too. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, it's hot outside, and it's just going to be hot over the next several days. I really wish I had more for you at this point, but that's just going to be the theme into the upcoming work week, with high pressure working its way in to the Lone Star State. Now, of course, this follows what was, you guessed it, another hot day. Today, the high 102, 9 degrees above the average of 93, and again, 1 degree below the record of 103 that was set back in 2009. You can see it was also a hot start, or I guess a warmer than average start to the day. 79, which is 5 degrees above the average of 74. It's still 92 degrees outside right now, feeling like the low triple digits. And you can see, yes, more pink bars, more triple digit opportunities are in the forecast over the next several days. But at least the good news is humidity levels in the afternoon should be coming down a bit more as well. So we'll have another full look at that toasty forecast coming up in just a few.
Win is a win, yeah. Thanks for that. Still to come on the Nightbeat, a chemical spill is raising environmental concerns out west. Coming up, we go to Montana, where crews are investigating an incident they're saying could have been much worse.